Some people are light-skinned. Some people are dark-skinned. Some people are in between. This is a result of polygenic inheritance.
Polygenic inheritance is when one characteristic is controlled by two or more genes. By increasing the number of genes that controls one characteristic, more combinations of that characteristic also increases.
Such as skin color, grain color of wheat, height, beak length in birds, apple color,
and much, much more.
Let's take a look at the example of skin color.
While genes control phenotypic or physical variation, alleles control the actual variation. In skin color, alleles control the production of melanin. Melanin is a pigment that controls the color of skin. Melanin is the pigment produced by melanocytes, which is responsible for darkened skin tone. It is produced through melanogenesis, which is catalyzed by tyrosinase enzyme. Let's try to understand the way alleles work. Here's an example. Big A, big B, big C, little c. For every capital letter, there is a unit of melanin added. In the example shown, there are 3 units of melanin. This would mean that this person is somewhere between light and dark-skinned. However, this is not the only combination that would yield 3 units of melanin. There are many others. According to the picture shown, there are many ways to get 3 units of melanin. This would mean that getting 3 units of melanin as a skin color is more common in people than 0 units or 6 units. Let's take a look at the example that's illustrated with the students. The letters in blue are representative of the dominant allele, while the letters in red are representative of the recessive allele. The dominant allele represents melanin added, while the recessive allele represents no melanin added. So, each dominant allele, capital A, capital B, capital C, each represent 1 unit of melanin added, while each recessive allele, lowercase a, lowercase b, and lowercase c, each represent 1 unit of melanin that's not added. There really is no true dominant or recessive allele because each allele is expressed. Okay, now you see how the 3 of them came forward? There is 1 blue letter present indicating 1 unit of melanin added, and then the other 2 letters are in red, indicating 2. The skin color of the offspring based on this gamete will be a mix of all 3 letters. This explains the concept of continuous variation, which will be explained further later on. You see how the other 3 have come forward now? This is another possible combination that your other parent can give you. There are 2 blue letters and 1 red letter forming the gamete, meaning the offspring will have 2 units of melanin added and 1 unit of melanin not added, thus being even darker than the offspring from the previous gamete. All these letters together would create you. Polygenic inheritance is the change in the letters or genotype in a group of people. The more letters or genes that control a certain characteristic, the greater number of phenotypic classes or physical appearances. To get a higher number of physical appearances, you need a high number of genotypic variation and variation in the environment. Polygenic variation is an example of continuous variation. Continuous variation is variation that has no limit within a group of people. One example is height. There is no maximum height or minimum height that a person can be. This would mean that there are endless possibilities of skin color available. This is the standard graph for continuous variation.